Pick the Nintendo Shack and pray. Frederick from Fire Emblem Awakening says, yo.
Greetings, Koopalings, and welcome back to Rebecca's Shack. My name is Donnie Reese, and what's up, guys? You like my intro? Yeah?
Every time. I don't know. How long can we keep up this joke?
I'm running out of...
It was old the first time.
I'm running out of things to say. Like, I need some writing help. Gary, you write a few one-liners down for me?
50 or so. I can do that by next week. Let's go.
Episode 140 of the Nintendo Shack podcast. That's a lot. It feels like a lot. Now, I know, like, Bored with Video Games is more Prime, well, we're like on 250 or whatever, but from the moment we kicked this show off, I mean, that's a lot. It's 140 weeks. Whew. Mm-hmm. Whew. Tonight, we're going to get into what you can expect to see on Nintendo Switch in July, as well as some rumors that are just now starting to gain a little steam over there on the internet. So we're a little early on this one, as well as some other events that are going on. But before we get into that, let's kick off the show like we do each and every week by thanking the producers that support us over at patreon.com/PSVGs. Thank you, Callow, Barry Cathcart, Josh Borboni, The Bonesaw, Chris McElfresh, Devin Tyus, Kyle Heyman, Michael Masick, Zach Bradshaw, Nick Fahaber, and Paul Calicote. Garrett, what you been up to, man?
I've been busy, actually. I got a lot of work to do. But I've been just chilling as well. Playing some video games, of course. This weekend I finished up Metro Exodus. Just give me a 1 minute rant here.
A minute?
I love
just
rants. Go for
just
it.
give me a minute. All right. It's good. It's a great game, I think.
Great game.
It's a great game. I say solid 8, actually. But I think it's a tale of two games.
8 out of 100.
8 out. Yeah, exactly. Of course, Donnie. So basically, I was going into this last weekend. I mentioned that it's all open world and it's a sandboxy kind of level. Well, that's kind of true for the first 2 big levels. And then the last 2 big levels are definitely not big open world games. It was sort of weird seeing this. So the first 2 was like a sandboxy, I think of Borderlands, because it's like you have this one level that's very open world and you can like go basically wherever you want. Similar to like that. And it is a drag. They made it better on the second level with cars. You can drive around at least, so it's a little bit faster, but still it's slow. But by the third level, which was by far my favorite one, it felt Tomb Raider to me, where it's like you kind of set this very linear path. Maybe you can go off into different directions, but it was very linear compared to the first 2. And then the last level was like, this is Metro. This is Metro 2033 and Last Light. Like it's dark. It's just very narrow tunnels, and you had to like go on a boat, and it's just one direction. It's really nothing else. So I found that very interesting. I wonder if the developers were like, we got tired of this open world. We're going to go back to the, old formula. But other than that, the story was great. I like the shooting a lot in the world that they set. And, if you have Metro 23 or Last Light on Switch, I did definitely play it, because that's by far, I think they're better games, to be honest with you. But this one was great as well.
Nice.
Other than that, Xenoblade, I'm still going at it. I haven't put too much time into it this past week, but I'm chapter 13. So I'm basically where
you're getting there.
Yep, Mechon. I'm at the bottom of the Mechon, the foot. So a lot of stuff has happened, I think. I don't want to set any story beats out at this point. But me and Sean Capri have been talking together quite a bit about this game now on Discord, and he's catching up to me. He's like, like every day he's like, hey, I'm at chapter 8. I'm chapter 10. I'm chapter 11. I'm like, dang, is this
Nice.
dude is this dude gonna pass me? And it's like, all right, he wants to make it a competition. Let's go, Sean. All right. So, but no, it's really good. I'll keep at it. But The Last of Us Part 2 is now right in front of me that I need to play now. So
Best
Is
of
that
luck.
far in front of you to finish the other games that you're playing?
Well, it's gonna be priority. I think it's gonna be priority this weekend for sure. Because I want to get into spoiler cast. I want to listen to Donnie and Kevin just go.
You may
go
not want
rant
to listen to
for
mine.
Well, I'm gonna listen to it after.
Okay.
All right. And I'm gonna listen to everyone else on PSVG to see what they think.
There you go. Start with theirs and end with mine. Mine appears to
Sounds
be the
good.
most divisive or opposed. So-
Gotcha. But yeah, that's what I've been doing so
Nice.
far.
Nice, man. What about you, Bex? What you been up to?
I have started a game that I have wanted to play for quite a while now. A lot of you guys know that I have been catching up on a lot of old Super Nintendo era games that I have missed in the past couple months. Specifically, I started Earthbound this week. I know a lot of people play Earthbound and then Undertale, which is directly inspired by Earthbound.
A lot of people?
Well, that's usually the order. Like most people, I feel like have played Earthbound first since it came out so long ago. But since Undertale was directly inspired by Earthbound, I've heard there are a lot of similarities. And Undertale is one of my favorite games of all time. I could go on and on about everything that I love about Undertale. So once I heard of all the similarities to Earthbound, I knew I really wanted to play it. So I finally started that this past week. I'm a couple hours into it, and I already know that this is going to be a really awesome game that I'm going to love because it's so quirky. It has all that really like bizarre, weird writing, weird things happen in it, giving me like, and I've already noticed like a lot of things that I have already been able to say, oh my gosh, Undertale got this from Earthbound. So it's kind of a weird experience playing it after Undertale, but I'm really, really enjoying it so far.
You're making Kevin smile.
Have either of you played Earthbound?
Oh yeah,
You have played Earthbound,
yeah,
okay.
several times.
Have you guys-
I never played it all the way to the finish. I've never.
Really?
Yeah, no.
Not your thing?
Yeah, I mean that's just it. And I think anybody that's followed the type of games I play, they know that right off the bat. I don't think that surprises anybody. But I've definitely played it a few times because of its quirkiness and weirdness. It is kind of something you can kind of, I don't know, is it like get hooked by? It's just almost like curious. It's intriguing. You're just like, where is this going?
Well, I didn't know a whole lot about it going into it. Like, obviously, I know kind of the basic stories and like the characters and stuff just from kind of seeing it out in the Nintendo sphere. But for the past few years, I've always said like I really want them to acknowledge it or remake it or bring it to I was wondering, well, why isn't it on the Switch? As I'm playing more and more of it, I'm kind of starting to realize why they don't really acknowledge it, or maybe why they're not bringing it to Switch Online.
Is it because of its portrayal of the U.S.?
No, well, not like even explicitly that, but like there's already, I'm only like 3 or 4 or 5 hours into it maybe. And there's already a lot of like really controversial type things in it. Like there's a whole cultist town with like, they're totally based off of the KKK. It's super like, oh my God, I wasn't expecting that at all.
Wow.
So like they don't obviously come right out and say that, but like they're like, we're happy village where it's like happyism and it's all about being blue. It's just very bizarre. Very, very bizarre.
Bizarre is a good word. It is interesting.
And so it's like a whole storyline to take down the cult.
I don't think I've ever actually thought of them actually remaking it. And I wonder if people would want that. I think people would want it just to have something, for the recognition. But at the same time, I could see a lot of the actual fans being upset if they kind of rewrote it and kind of portrayed it differently.
I think a lot of it would be censored.
Yeah, and I think that would bother people.
Yeah, and I think the reason why people want it remade, at least the reason I think, me myself, because I haven't ever played it, and it would be nice just to have like a collection on a modern console, but also the fact that Mother 3 never got localized, and that would be kind of a big deal. And I would imagine that a remake would include all 3 games.
It'd be nice.
Yeah,
I don't necessarily think it would have to be, but it would be nice. I would just, I typically think that any truly great game deserves to be remade, if only to kept current. I kind of look at it like as these consoles grow and we adopt different libraries and account systems, stuff like that, stuff gets lost and it gets forgotten and it's hard to keep up. So the truly great ones, I always want to be remade. I kind of, that's my answer to every time anybody ever asks me if I want to remake anything. Yes. Like if it deserves to be remade, yes. Because it's also kind of one of those things, and I know people don't like ports and things like that, but I always like the sense that you know exactly what you're paying for, and if it's truly like I think you guys understand what I'm saying. Like when a game deserves to be remade, it's probably worth the money. Like there's a reason they're remaking it, because it deserves to be remade. Not everything does, but we know the games that do. And I think you're right. I think a lot of it's I don't know, issues and things like that would be trouble.
The thing I think about remaking Super Nintendo games is they've aged just like gameplay wise and visually. They've aged so well. Like, I could imagine this type of thing coming out today.
Controls, menus, UI, you update all that. You give it a resolution bump. You don't even have to change the art style.
Yeah,
the art style is beautiful.
Yeah, it's gorgeous as it is.
The music, oh my gosh, every single song is a bop. I love it.
And I think I think that is also a part of the reason there's a lot of licensing issues with Earthbound.
Maybe.
Oh, okay.
Pretty sure of that.
But just I love the quirkiness out of it. Like, just one little anecdote was that I bought you can buy food for healing, and I was buying fresh eggs, and so I'm like walking to wherever I'm supposed to go, and all of a sudden I hear this chirping. I'm like, what is that? Like, I'm thinking like it's something in like my room, like are the crickets. So then I'm going into my inventory to get something else, and I see a chicken. I'm like, when did I get a chicken? And turned out the eggs that you buy will hatch into chickens if you don't consume them fast enough. So just little quirky things that like catch you off guard. I think you don't really see that too often in games. It's just very clever and like makes you laugh. It made me laugh. I don't know. I'm really enjoying my time with it. I'll probably have more to say about it in the upcoming weeks.
You should definitely talk about it in the Discord with Kevin. Kevin loves this game. Always has. Yeah. Always will. So, he'd be the best. You're probably the only reason he listens to Shaq at this point. Now he's just like, Rebecca's my only hope. So, that's awesome. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much it for me. I am also still doing the Animal Crossing every day.
Get a new couch? Did you get a new couch or something? Is there anything
cool? Well, there's a new update coming out tonight.
It's out now, according to the chat.
Yeah, I think it dropped at 9. The swimming and diving. You can go get your wetsuit at the Nook shop, and you can swim and dive and find new sea creatures for your museum.
My daughter came to me this week. She said, "Dad, they're going to let us swim in Animal Crossing." And I said, "You could already do that in Animal Crossing." She said, "No, you couldn't." I said, "Yeah, you did. You did it in the last Animal Crossing." She goes, "I didn't play the last Animal Crossing."
Oh.
I said, "You did for 150 hours on 3DS." She goes, "That was the last Animal Crossing?" I go, "Yeah." She's like, "We didn't have one on Wii U?" I was like, "Nope, no, we didn't." So
you had a Amiibo festival.
So I felt actually there's a part of me that felt bad because I was like, did I just ruin her like excitement for like this new thing? She was so excited.
I just killed the hype, man.
I did.
No, I think it's always welcome when they add new things to collect and new things to find. I know swimming isn't like that new or that great, but like I'm always looking for new things for the museum, so it'll be fun.
Something to do. I have been playing Clubhouse games. I've been playing it with Jack. We've been doing billiards and poker. We've been having a lot of fun with that. And then I did set my score on golf. Got to 15 down.
Dang.
Should have been 16. I went for an eagle, threw it out of bounds, got a bogey.
Oh, no. Are there online
It could have
leaderboards?
easily been 16. I could have been 17. But I'd take 15.
But you did.
I'm not sure if you guys remember
for that game. Like, can your score be compared to like other people's?
I don't know.
Like globally,
I don't think so. I didn't see any. I haven't seen.
You're probably
not sure about that.
No, I've seen people. I think the highest I've seen is actually 16. But I'm sure, like I said, I went for an eagle. Could have had it. Just missed it. and it went out of bounds, that cost me 2. So my 15 could have been 17. And I'm sure I could have played even other holes. I think you can get 18 on this if you want to. I think on the 9 holes, you could go 18 under, like the perfect round.
You'll get it.
I haven't seen that yet, but I definitely know that I could get 16. But if you guys remember, the first night I played, I was at 14. I was playing with Sean and Garrett and Jace, and I was drinking. I was pretty drunk, and I got to 14 only to bogey the last hole. And then since then, I never got to 13 again, let alone 14. I played it for like 2 weeks. I was like, this is ridiculous. It's like, I know that I've done this before. And then the other night I was playing with Jack, and we got done playing pool, and I just clicked it over, and I just knew it. I kind of felt it, like at that feeling about 5 holes in. I was like, this is it. This is the one. Don't screw it up. So I got to 15. I'm proud of 15. Like I'm good at 15. Like I think that's going to be, go out there and beat it, Shackers. Go get 16. Send me a screenshot. You can do it. I know you can.
I'll do it right now.
Contest. We should do that.
Oh man, I miss our Mario Golf tournaments. I cannot wait to bring those back. We did like a full year of 3DS Mario Golf tournaments.
I remember that too.
Yeah, I kept posting codes like every other week. It was so fun. So fun.
Oh my gosh, I have ideas going.
I have also got Urshifu over there in the Pokemon DLC.
Urshifu.
I started playing Saturday and played it for like 4 hours. I didn't do anything. I just walked around, started catching Pokemon. Started grinding out my Marowaks and Cubones. I got to the point where I had a serious issue. I didn't have enough room in my party for the Cubones and Marowaks plus the Urshifu and the Poliwrath that I wanted to carry. And I was like, I don't know what to do.
How many Cubones and Marowaks do you have?
Oh, no.
Not enough, okay? So I've got regular Cubone, regular Marowak. I've got a Alolan Marowak, right?
The Alolan, of course.
I need all different kind of versions. The Alolan Marowak, by the way.
It's legit.
It is amazing. It is so good.
I like it better than the regular
Yeah,
Marowak.
who doesn't? It's awesome. So I had a lot of fun with that, and I completed the towers. I evolved Urshifu, even though I didn't want to. I have to find Hop or something. Jack told me Urshifu needed to be like 75 before I could finish. So he just kind of took the game and started. I was like, grind this out for me. So he started leveling him up, and I'm supposed to go find Hop.
You could have been like me and accidentally used too many experience candy on it and leveled up to 90.
There you go. Well, and that's the thing is like he's just my Pokemon grind now. I have like a Pokemon experience tool. His name's Jack. I'm like, hey, level these up for me. I'm gonna give you $2, right? Put everybody in the party up 10
Perfect.
levels.
There you
It
go.
is perfect. It works out well for me. Let's get into this week in Nintendo. And today marks July 1st. And obviously want to wish everybody a happy holiday weekend. Hopefully you stay safe. Mask up. Don't blow your hands off. Those are 2 different things, right?
Yeah.
Don't go out to the beach with people. Don't breathe other people's air, right? Don't blow your hand off where you have to then go to the hospital and breathe all the other people's air, right? So it's twofold.
That'll be bad.
It's twofold. Be prepared this weekend, but I hope you have a good time. We are going to fire off some fireworks. I've got a box full of fireworks earlier, and we've got hot dogs and cheeseburgers to grill. You guys doing any fun things for the holiday?
I wish I was. I'm all alone right now.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Gonna like watch what's a good July? What's a good Independence Day movie? I guess it would be Independence Day. Yeah. Now as I said that, I was like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Last of Us Part 2. That's my 4th of July game.
Yes, that is the best way to spend
Is it?
any holiday.
I don't know.
Well, it is game, but not that one. You deserve to be happy, Garrett.
Yeah, maybe not so much that one.
We're gonna have to check in on them, right? Don't drink while you play. Don't drink while you play.
No
I wanted to kick off this month's show with just kind of highlight some games that are coming out this month, because if you if you read the blogs, if you head over around, like Nintendo's in dire straits right now. There's no games to possibly play. Like everybody's just very upset. No, I'm making a joke. The Legend of Heroes: Trials of Cold Steel 3.
Yep.
Boy, that's a name, Garrett. That is a title of a video game if I've ever seen one.
Do you know The Legend of Heroes?
No.
In general? Oh, okay. I mean, like, I haven't played any of the games, so I don't want to be this huge expert or whatever, but The Legend of Heroes, it's a long-standing franchise from Falcom that has done a bunch of JRPGs since, I don't know, like the PS2, PS1 days. They have the Trails in the Sky series as well before Trails of Cold Steel, and people love this franchise. Trails of Cold Steel is like Persona-esque,
Nice.
but more in a like in a medieval-ish high school setting. I think the combat's a little bit more dynamic than Persona. It's not this just straight up, I don't know, turn-based style. It's turn-based still, but I feel like there's like positioning involved in where you like bind like allies together to do combo attacks, which is cool. But again, this is the third entry of the series. You got to play the first two before you get into this one. And let me tell you, yeah, you kind of have to because it's a story like sequel
I gotcha.
type of thing, and like you import saves too.
Really?
Like 100 hours each game.
Yeah, as I say, I know they're long, and I know that this one is reviewing well.
Yeah. No, everyone is just it's knocking out of the park. It's just you got to invest time. And Trails of Cold Steel 4, it's been announced like last week. It's coming on Switch day out, but the first two are not on Switch, so you got to play it on PlayStation 4 or PC.
When is 4 coming out? Did they say?
It's later this fall.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
My cat's at the door. He was upset. How do you import saves if you can't play the other games?
This one, so the third one is actually not as important to import saves. I remember that.
Okay.
It's just some bonuses, but 1 and 2 are very interconnected.
I gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
The first part of Minecraft Dungeons DLC is out now, the jungle expansion. I bought it and played it on Xbox. Got owned my first level. Garrett, I'm gonna need to get the crew together and somebody carry me through this thing.
I need to finish that game.
It's because I didn't do the end game. I ran through the final level, did my first one, and I didn't go through again. I didn't re-roll a character or anything like that, so I'm a little underleveled. I just need to level up a little bit, but it's fun. It was more expansive than I thought it would be, actually. It feels longer than the other levels, but maybe that's just my memory. But it's good. On the 7th, Catherine Full Body comes out. That is a fantastic game that I would absolutely be buying if it wasn't full price. So I'm going to wait a little bit for the price to come down because I have it. I have Catherine on Xbox, the last gen version. So, yeah. Vigor comes out July 8th. Coach Mo approved. A little battle royale for you. It's a good
Is
game.
it a first-person shooter or what is it?
I think you can toggle. You can toggle.
Okay, it's a toggle.
I want to say I think you can go third person. I feel like I've seen people go third person when I've watched them play it. I've only played it I played it for like 20 minutes. Basically, because Coach Mo played it so much, I want to see what it's like. But I've watched him play it, and I've watched a few other people play it. It is quite good. It's
cool.
That battle royale like PUBG thing, but it has like this whole loot mechanic that makes it a little different. Right. So you can get in and get out without actually fighting anybody at all. So the loot that you get out with safely, you can use to upgrade your base and everything to like make your chances better the next time you go in. So there is that whole kind of, I'm not even here to like battle people type stuff to it. And there's like a drop, and I think it alerts everybody else when the drop comes in. It's pretty good. I actually think it is pretty good. So if you're into the battle royale, the online multiplayer, I want to give it a chance. Crosscode arrives to Switch on the 9th. Rebecca.
We've talked quite a bit about that one.
Yeah, I think that one's up your alley. I think you might like
I know,
it
I
quite
have
a
my
bit.
eye on it.
It's definitely coming to Game Pass, Garrett.
It's already on PC, so I'm good.
Nice.
Games
Very
Pass for
good.
PC.
I saw that this game, like the completionist route's like 75 hours.
Wow.
And like the fast track
That's
is like
a lot
40.
more than I thought.
So
40. Jeez,
I'm
I didn't know how
probably
long the game that is.
gonna boot it up for a couple hours, check it out, and turn it off and never play it again, because that's typically what I do with these types of games.
So I'll get it at some point.
Cool.
Bloodstained Curse of the Moon 2 arrives on the 10th.
Surprise.
This was a surprise. Not only was it a surprise announcement, but surprise it was coming around so fast.
Yeah.
Like, they announced it and we're like, oh, that's cool. I was like, that'll be out Halloween. It's like, nope, it's out in 3 weeks. So
It's like, okay, cool.
yeah, pretty much.
All these characters and it's $10 or something like that.
No, it's on the 10th. It's on the 10th. I think it's $14.99.
July 10th.
$15. Still, that's cheap.
It's not bad. The first one was good. Curse of the Moon, not not the other one. Curse of the Moon.
Not the other one.
Not the other one. Don't do the other one. Deadly Premonition 2 also arrives on the 10th. And my demeanor is shot. I feel broken, guys. I've spent all this money and I can't, if I could cancel, I would. I'm really upset that I can't cancel.
Where'd you order it from?
On the eShop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I ordered it digitally. It doesn't look great. Now, it's so funny because when you tell people it doesn't look great, what do they respond with? That's what Deadly Premonition's supposed to be. It's supposed to look bad. That's the fun part. Yeah, it's not fun. I understood it.
Sequel.
I was telling Kevin, I understood it like with the last one right? The Origins that I played, I gave it a pass because it was like a 15-year-old game,
Right.
you know, from 2 generations ago, and it was a cheap game when it was made. I was like, I'm not going to expect a whole lot now. This is a full price game, and it's, you know, it's 2020. I didn't expect the world. It wasn't like I was like, it better be 4K 60. That was never the expectation. I wanted to run well,
Yeah.
you know, like run as a normal game. This thing looks janky, but maybe the writing will save it. The writing saved the first one. The thing that I was actually, it's not even actually so much the performance, which looks terrible. I was really hoping the navigation system in the game and like the map and everything would be better. It legit looks the same.
Oh, man.
And in the first, when I was playing the first one, I pulled up my Chromebook and had a map up so I could like direct myself with where to go, because it's one of those like old school, you know, adventure games. You're supposed to just go find it. You know, there's not like no easy. And I'm at this point, I don't want to be doing that anymore in these games. I'm like, just tell me where to go. Just point me in the direction. All right, I ain't got time to walk and talk to all these 1,800 people to figure out that I'm supposed to go to the cemetery. So I kind of used a little map guide last time. So I don't know. I'm going to play it, of course. I already bought it. I'm going to play it. I'm just not looking forward to it, guys.
That's like not something you should be saying about a game you're gonna get.
I'm so like non-hype. I'm like less hype. I'm negative hype for a pre-order. It's gone the other way. It's done.
It's done.
I've already bought it. I pre-ordered like 2 months ago. It's done. It's completely done. There's nothing I can do about it.
Okay.
Keep your expectations extraordinarily low. and see where it goes from there.
Maybe, like I said, it might. Maybe because the first one. You guys never played this game, right?
No.
It's nuts, man.
Not selling it well either.
He has an imaginary friend he talks to. Like he sees things in his coffee. It's very Twin Peaks. It's all this strange stuff.
Bad weird.
It is,
opposed to
and
Earthbound.
that's why the cult following that loves it. They love it because it's so bad. And it's like when they made a sequel, they're like, "Oh, we have to make it like worse. Like we have to make it as bad as possible."
So weird.
That's the impression that I'm getting from the gameplay that I watched the other day on IGN. I was like, "This looks terrible. It looks bad for like a PS2 game."
It's like
it looks rough.
Sci-fi movies that they purposely make bad so people talk about them.
Yes, this is actually, you know, like as a horror fan, I can appreciate that statement. There's a huge cult following for B favorite horror movies. This is like an F, though. like this is. We'll see, guys. We will see. Story of Seasons, Friends of the Mineral Town comes out on the 14th.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know you were into those.
So I was really into Harvest Moon: A Wonderful Life.
Okay.
And so there was always that like Friends of Mineral Town connection with that game, since you could hook it up with, I think it was like the GameCube and the Game Boy Advance. I never did it, but that was always a game that I wanted to play, and it's a remake of that game.
Yeah. Nice.
Caro's really excited
Caro's
for it.
going to be happy. Hopefully she still listens. She'd be really happy to hear that.
I might get into it.
I don't know, the reason I threw it in here was fear that if I didn't, I might get yelled at.
This is a pretty big title for this. It's, you know, it's a remake, but it's a pretty big one as far as remakes go for this month.
Cool. Neon Abyss. That is from the Worms team, right? What is it? What's their name?
I have no idea. I saw the title and I'm like, I've never heard of this game before.
I want to say it, but I'm afraid I have it wrong. So I want to say, is it Team 17? I don't remember. It's the Worms team, and then they make a bunch of other games. I want to say it's Team 17. Garrett, can you fact check that on me for me?
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, this is a kind of like I would call it like a bullet hell type of game. It's like a strategy game. There's a demo up on the eShop, which I downloaded. I ain't got a chance to play it yet. There's like
Team 17. You're right.
See, that was good. Like rockets and bullets and things going everywhere. It's kind of crazy. It's definitely kind of like I think I pinged Jason on this game. I was like, you know, you might really be into this, but I'm gonna try the demo. Give it a try. It looks pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
The next game I don't think is on people's radar. It's a hashtag fun time. Have you ever heard about this game?
Nope.
I was confused about that one.
It's a twin stick shooter that looks like Geometry Wars. And as long as people keep making them, I'll keep bringing them up on this podcast because I've bought like 7 of them on Switch, and I'll just keep buying them because I love these types of games. It looks pretty good, though. It looks pretty good. So if you guys haven't heard about it and you like those types of games, give it a look. Hashtag fun time. Before we culminate with Paper Mario, the Origami King, on the 17th, the middle of the month. Game looks great. Had a huge write-up in Game Informer this past week.
Looks really good.
It looks fantastic. I don't know if I've been as excited to play a Paper Mario game as I am for this one.
Mm-hmm.
to be quite honest with you. And that might be because it's the only thing on the horizon, first party. Very well could be it. But, like I bought Wii, I bought Wii U, I bought 3DS, I had Sticker Star. I've bought a lot of these. I usually do, just like I buy the Yoshi game and the Donkey Kong game and the Kirby game. But they're always kind of like, I'll get it and play it because it's, what they're releasing. This is actually like, I can't wait to play this because I think it looks really, really good. I think it looks refreshing. Like
they presented it very well.
Yeah.
I just think all of the bosses look so cute and creative. Like
the whole game looks, just visually,
well designed.
The whole game looks really, really good. But I'm really excited for the.
Very interesting.
Yes, I'm very interested for the battle style and like the new semi-open world paths and things like that. Like all of that, I'm like, this is different. This is new, and I want to see what it's like. And who knows? Maybe it'll flop. But I think it looks great. Maybe, it's only the first. They could drop a demo. I was hoping that they would. I thought that they would. But we're getting pretty close at this point. You would expect them if they were, they'd have to soon.
I don't see a demo happening.
Maybe not until release. They might have a demo up.
I feel like it's one of those games that will randomly get a demo like a year after it comes out.
That's true. There are a lot of Nintendo does that a lot of times.
Kind of game that would get something like that.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't even recognize it. They're just like, "Hey, do you know there's a demo?" Like, it's ARMS as a demo now.
Yeah,
they do that. So, out of these games, or any other that I might have missed that are making your list, or anything on your radar for this month that you are looking forward to playing?
You absolutely scraped the bottom of the barrel. I do not see any other games coming up in this month. Definitely excited for Paper Mario, though. I might pull the trigger. That's close to my birthday. It might be a birthday present to myself.
Ooh. When you do it, I'm going to go back and get the cut section where you're like, I'm not getting this game day one. I'm going to come back and put it back in.
You know how I am. I buy into the hype like 24/7.
Hey, that's all of us. That's just how it works. You fight the good fight, right? It's just like me. It's like, I'm not getting a PlayStation 5.
Exactly.
I'm not getting a PlayStation 5.
I told you, I'm not buying a Series X.
How many people do you think have that written down? Donnie says he's not kidding. We all know I will eventually get one for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah. What about you, Rebecca?
Yeah, Story of Seasons and Crosscode definitely on my radar. Not sure if either of them will be day one. It kind of depends on what else I'm playing and doing this month. But I do have interest in both of those.
Cool. And who knows? We'll get some surprise, announcements or a drop or some indies. There's a lot of things. I don't really see a whole lot coming out after the 17th. And I'm sure there'll be some games that'll fill in there. So next week, Devolver Digital will hold their direct. I honestly can't tell you how excited I am to see that. And then the Ubisoft will have their Ubisoft Forward presentation, which is their replacement for their E3 shows. These are happening next weekend, Saturday the 11th and Sunday the 12th, respectively. And I just wanted to go over if we had any hopes for games that we might see from those conferences. Like with the lack of no Nintendo news, I think a lot of people might be hoping, that some of these other companies and these other events kind of fill in a little, which I am looking forward to at least a few announcements from both of these two. But I want to start with Devolver because I feel like both of you don't seem to be Devolver folks to me.
I played Hotline Miami.
Oh, of course. That's the big one.
Down well.
Oh, okay.
I enjoy digital Devolver games when I get my hands on them.
Nice.
For sure.
Awesome.
There's totally wacky games.
Have you ever watched one of their directs before?
Yes. I feel like I'm going through acid like 20 times when I ever see that. And I love the host too. The host does a fantastic job with that.
So the last video direct they had the CEO of the company, Nina, die. She got on the stage, got angry, died. They took her to the hospital. They try to revive her. Then they try to rebuild her as a robot. They have all the other people. There's the things I love about Devolver is their last digital direct, their entire show was basically like a mockumentary of E3. It was like a mockumentary of E3 and a mockumentary of directs. They're basically just mocking the video game industry across the board, just up and down. And it's absolutely hilarious. And it's definitely mature and it's definitely adult. This is not something you sit down and watch with the kids, folks. So don't do it thinking you're tuning in to see any Mario type stuff. It's not that type of conference. Dev and I have streamed the last two. Last year's we streamed the Devolver Digital late night event, where we had chickens wrestling sandwiches and stuff like in a ring. Like we watched it, and they had like these stupid little games on the screen. They were like, click the thing, click it. And like the little thing would pop up and you'd click it and try to get like a code and stuff. It was absolutely bonkers. Shenanigans is all Devolver Digital is incredibly insane fun shenanigans. So I am looking forward to their event, I think most, just for the event. The event's definitely going to be exciting. Yeah. And I will hope to stream it with Dev. We haven't actually connected on that, but I just assume that we will. We have the last two, so I assume we'll get back together and do it again. Do either of you have any games that you're hoping to see at the Devolver show?
I have no idea. Okay. That's the one thing. I don't know any specific game.
Like what could possibly be
Carrion.
Yeah.
Carrion, a game that they showed last year at their stage show. I was expecting, if you had asked me if all things were equal and fair, I would have told you that Carrion would have been at the Nintendo Direct at E3 and would have released that day. That would have easily been my prediction. I think I told it to them in January. They were like, hey, what do you want to see from us this year? And I was like, Carrion, out on Switch, out now. It's a game where you play the monster. So, yeah, you think about like Stranger Things, you're the Demogorgon. And you go through and you kill all the people. And now you collect them and you get bigger. And it's all Devolver. It's that style, that look. So I would hope to hear from that game. If not, I would hope to predict that it's out that day. Maybe it's not. I know they're doing demos, so maybe it's not ready yet, but maybe there's a demo out that day. But this game has been in the hopper for a couple years now, so I'd expect it to be soon.
I saw it on the showcase. I think the Guerrilla Collective showed it off. Yeah.
It's been making the rounds for a while. The other game that I'm pretty sure I think has PlayStation exclusivity is Fall Guys. It's super bright and colorful, cartoony, like multiplayer type game. And it just screams Switch. But I'm pretty sure the only thing it's been announced for is PlayStation and PC. So they must have some sort of marketing agreement. And then the last one that I have is Disc Room, which is kind of like this Super Meat Boy type of adventure puzzle game where you enter a room that has a ton of saw blades going around crazy. You try not to die while you forgot the puzzles and dodge them and stuff like that. So those are just 3 games from Devolver, and I'm sure we will see, a lot more. Yeah, a handful of others that we've never heard of and stuff before. But Devolver's been, I would actually make the case that Devolver's been one of the best partners on Switch. If you're talking about the amount of games that they have and the quality, because they've got Ape Out and Hotline Miami Collection and stuff. Like when they bring games to Switch, they're typically like I think cult hits. Like they're good.
They're good, and they're always on sale, too.
Yeah, they also do that. They do that quite a bit as well. So, yeah, and then several of them, Game of the Year lists for me. I think the last 3 years, I've probably had a Devolver game on every one of them. Oh, wow. So it's pretty, it's good quality stuff. All right, now let's get into the meat and potatoes that you guys probably really want to talk about. Ubisoft Forward. Garrett, do you think we see Switch games at the Ubisoft show?
I think you know my answer.
I do.
Yes. Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle 2. Come on.
I feel like it's going to happen, to be honest.
I feel like it's going to happen. I don't know.
Do you think they would announce that there and not let Nintendo do it?
Well, they did with the first one.
They did.
But Nintendo was there. That's the difference, right? They announced the first one at Ubisoft stage show.
Oh, I do remember
with
that.
Miyamoto on the stage. So that was going to be my only resistance that I offered you is I don't think Nintendo is going to allow somebody else to announce a game with their characters if they're not involved. That doesn't mean they're not involved. They could be involved. But with everything that's going on and stuff like that, I just question if they are. I don't know that.
From Nintendo's statement of third parties, let you introduce and announce your games at your respective conventions.
Sure. I'm like, they might have given up on it.
All hands on deck now.
Or maybe they do like a direct thing where they throw it to Miyamoto, who's, we have him at his house watch him have 4 big screens. Like it's more big screen TVs than Sakurai. It becomes like a weird flex. Yeah, exactly. He's just got more. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely ways around it, but that's the only thing that I've heard a lot of people say that we ourselves have talked about it on this show previously. And that's the only thing in my head is like, well, then I would expect them to be involved somehow. And maybe they are. I would love to see a tweet from them like the day before, like, hey, come check out Ubisoft 4 tomorrow.
If they did that, you would know. I feel like you have to know.
Yeah.
Like, what else would it be?
Star Fox.
Star Fox is a big maybe.
I mean, if you're asking me what else would it be, it would be a Star Fox game that they're making on Starlink.
There you got Starlink, so I mean,
which would excite the absolute bejesus out of me. Actually, like if they were like, "This is a full-blown Star Fox game," yeah, I mean that's what Starlink should have been in the first place.
Exactly,
it would have been better if it was. So yeah, if they did that, I'd be all like, I don't know. I think I might be more excited for that actually, if that ended up being true. But I think you're right. I think that makes a lot of sense. I would expect. Look, I know Just Dance will be announced for Switch, so like, there's at least one game,
and it's coming to the Wii.
They'll have at least one game announced for it, but I would hope that they have more than one. I know another one that they're going to have. Rebecca, do you have any that you're hopeful for?
I want to see a new Rayman game.
Ooh, good games. It
would
has
buy
been
that
a
one.
while.
Yeah, and Rayman Legends did really well.
Yes, very much.
I think it's time.
The ones that I wrote down, first and foremost, Gods and Monsters, which is going to be renamed. Its project code name is Orpheus. Now, the demo for this that was played at E3 last year accidentally leaked on Stadia a few weeks ago, and people for about an hour could play it. Like, so I've watched some gameplay of it. It was a super early build. It was the E3 build, so it wasn't like polished or anything like that. But for an early build from a year ago, I mean, a lot of it was there. Like the world was there, the geometry was there. A lot of, I mean, it looks great actually. I don't think it's going to be called Orpheus. I did think they announced that it's not going to be called Orpheus. That's the code name, but it will have a name change. So they will call it something else. That is the Assassin's Creed Odyssey team that are making a Odyssey Breath of the Wild-ish game. It has Breath of the Wild like climbing mechanics, like stamina systems. Yeah, and this is definitely, for those of you that haven't heard about this game, you need to look it up, because I have been so hot to trot from the moment I've seen it. This is way up my list, and this is one game that I'm going to wait to see what it looks like when it, like, I want to see what the differences is. Like, what's the downport to Switch, right? How much does it change? Because if it's good, if it's 1080p, if they can get good on Switch, I'd rather buy it there. Because if it is like a Breath of the Wild experience, I think I'd play it more that way on the go. So I just have a lot of questions, but I'm pretty sure we'll see it. Like, we'll almost guarantee we will see that game next week.
Isn't the art style kind of Breath of the Wild?
It is. Yeah, it's got that like painterly style.
Yeah. I don't see it downplay on the Switch then with that kind of art style.
I hope so. I mean, it's not going to be 4K, right?
Well, of course not.
Right. So
but
I'm
it's
just
going to look good. I think it's
hope so.
Art style. Yeah.
I hope so. And then the other one was Roller Champions. Do you remember that from last year's E3 show?
I have no idea.
It was
so. That sounds familiar.
It was like this roller derby cartoon-esque multiplayer game that also had like a, I want to say like they had a ball or a battle or something. Yeah, that's the one. I remember. Well, I think when they announced it, I was like, yeah, that's the Ubisoft Switch game. It's like every year Ubisoft has like one Nintendo game that doesn't look like that.
Out yet?
Nope, it's gone quiet. All of their games went quiet. Look, I kind of made it as a joke, but hands down, the best prediction I've ever made in all of my years of podcasting was live on air watching the Ubisoft show last year when I said it's all going to be delayed. I was like, all of it. It's all going to be delayed. And they literally did. Like 2 months later, they delayed every part of it. Not one game has come out. They delayed the entire show a year. So that's pretty crazy. And then the other thing that I wrote down was possible Rabbids or Star Fox integration. So yeah, I hope you're right, Garrett. I would be really, really excited for Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle 2. And this is the year for it, to celebrate all this Mario stuff that's coming down.
And all the Mario.
Get all the Mario. I'd be very, very excited. Nintendo held a financial Q&A this past week with President Furukawa, touched on a number of topics. So I'll read them real quick. He's upset about the stock, right? They've had Switch shortages since this thing has got going. So he's like, look, we're sorry. We've ramped up production. It was interesting. The thing that I thought was interesting from the interview, he said that their production stopped in February. They just stopped making completely. So that's interesting. I'm not actually sure if I can recall like a story that happened that stopped the production of an entire system console. But they got back up in March, and they're hoping to have, and I've seen actually, I get all the Wario alerts, I get all the Nibel alerts, all the,
more frequent.
Yeah, Switches have been coming in and out of stock all week long. So it does seem to it's starting to get back on track.
Mm-hmm.
This is the interesting one. He apologized for any inconvenience the customers may be having with Joy-Con controllers.
Oh my gosh.
And I think it's interesting because they currently have an ongoing class action lawsuit.
They do. They have a few, I think.
Yeah, so he didn't go as far as saying, I don't even actually think he said Joy-Con, but he was asked about the Joy-Con, and he was like, we are sorry if you had an issue with any of our products. But he said they're working on making it better. I wonder if we could get like a Joy-Con 2.0 or Joy-Con Motion Plus type thing. Do you think so?
Or maybe a sturdier Joy-Con.
Or maybe they phase out Joy-Cons.
Like, that would be really... I remember how they did that with the Wii, and then you had to
buy...
The new
Joy-Con.
Oh, don't even say that. And then you have to have them to play Skyward Sword HD. Like
Breath of the Wild 2.0. You got it.
Oh my gosh. No. I didn't even buy a Wii like a Motion Plus.
They wouldn't go that far. I think they would just...
more mad than not doing anything at all.
I think they would just release a new model and phase out the old ones.
Yep. That's what I hope.
Are they still doing the free repairs in the United States?
They closed down for COVID, and I don't think they've reopened yet.
I haven't heard anything.
But they will continue doing them because of the lawsuit. Like, once they reopen, they're not going to stop doing that.
And now my Joy-Cons for my Switch, got it. On my left one, Joy-Con issue, or drift issue.
This hurts me every time.
It goes left.
Did you try the contact cleaner?
No, I haven't tried anything
It
yet.
works. It really does work.
I'm going to break it apart.
Don't do that.
Don't.
Get the contact cleaner. Get on Amazon.
Try that first.
It's like $6.
Okay.
Electronic contact whatever cleaner.
Okay.
Pour thing, spray it in there, spin it around a few times, pop it back on and see what happens.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good.
I had one time I thought it was messed up. I did that and it fixed it right away.
And it's not a permanent fix, but you can do it over and over. Like you can probably do it and then like a couple months go by and then just do it again if it starts acting up.
Yep. I hate this because I've only had one issue, but I have like 15 Joy-Con, and I always feel like I'm not doing something right. I think it's Smash. All you guys out here playing Smash like crazy, ruining Joy-Cons.
Play on GameCube controller. Come on. Why are we playing on a Joy-Con with Smash?
Yeah, I don't know. I definitely do feel left out. I've never had the drift. I had one controller with the stick that was messed up, but that was because Jack's friend tried to put the grip reverse, and he just shoved it in there. He just forced it. So it bent the rail off.
Jeez.
And at some point the stick it worked, but there was definitely like a ridge. When I would move it, you could feel like it was rolling over something. So I replaced the stick myself. It wasn't that hard. But I'm not trying to tell people that they shouldn't be upset. They should be. I don't have it. I have tons of Joy-Cons. I have zero drift.
I'm going to be honest, Donnie. You probably have it on some of the controllers, but just don't know it because it's apparent in more games than others. And I didn't notice mine until I was actually playing. I think I first noticed it. It was either in Let's Go Eevee where my character started moving by itself, or it was actually Tetris 99 where it was very sensitive with moving the Tetris blocks.
So I was thinking I would have noticed in Animal Crossing or golf, like golf on Clubhouse. I'd imagine that the cursor would start moving.
Because I think it depends on the sensitivity for each game.
Oh, okay.
So like Tetris 99, where it's a very sensitive game, has the very precise movements. I couldn't play that at all with the Joy-Con. That's when I realized that mine had the problem, and I didn't know, well, how long has my Joy-Con been doing this?
I got you.
So
yeah, when I've seen people like post on YouTube, I've seen little characters literally just start walking off.
Yeah,
and I've never experienced that at all.
That's what mine's doing.
Start walking.
I move right and it moves left. That's what it's doing.
But there are other games it wouldn't do it, so I think it does. Like you might not even notice it on certain games.
I also I played Let's Go with the Pokeball. I've never had it on my Lite. I play my Lite. I actually really haven't played my actual Switch Joy-Cons in months.
Yeah.
Well, I've played all on my Lite basically since I've gotten it, with the exception of like I'll throw something on the Switch if I want to see it on the TV, like Xenoblade. Like, well, how good does it look? And I put it up. I'm like, not that great. I'm going to put it back. No, it doesn't. It's not that great. And then this was also interesting and kind of will lead us into our final topic of news. Nintendo believes that Nintendo Directs are an especially effective means of conveying new game content and announcements of fans. However, more effective means may become available in the future. It's an interesting thing to say, isn't it?
Okay, so I think I've read this statement before. I didn't realize it was in this way. I've heard it as if there was another option that was better in the future, we would take advantage of it. That's
like
what.
how announcing trailers on Twitter has been really effective lately.
Yeah, out of nowhere. And
Check out this game.
Coming out July.
And that works really, really well when you don't have a whole lot to say. Like if you're just going game by game at a time, right? And you kind of starve everybody for something and you throw something else out, everybody will jump on it. If you've got to show 4 or 5 things in a shorter period of time, I'm not sure how well that works. Right?
Well, yeah, that's true.
They kind of did it. Well, I mean, I know it's a little bit different, but they had the whole week where it felt like they had a bunch of little things like the Pokemon Direct, Smash, like they do what they want.
Yeah. I agree. Garrett, I agree with you. That's exactly how I took it the first time, too. I expect that that's exactly what he means. Just if there was a better way, they'd be open to it. But I thought it was interesting. I definitely thought it was interesting because I continue to give Nintendo a lot of credit. I mean, they led the way on this. You remember the amount of just hate that they got?
Oh,
Nintendo's leaving E3. They don't want to compete with PlayStation. I mean, the blog and journo sites had a field day with Nintendo when they were like, yeah, we're not going to do it anymore. And then now, years later, everybody does it. I mean, they were way out in front.
Everyone's doing it. Nintendo's like, we got to come up with something new.
We're not going to do that anymore. Watch them be like, next year we're going to have a stage show in California.
We're going to have masks on, sanitizer everywhere.
But the thing is, like, they won't do a live show. They'll find something new that we're going to be like, what? Like, why would they do it that way? But then it'll work and we'll love it. And then everybody else will realize, oh, yeah, that is a good idea. And then they'll do it because that's what always happens.
Well, I actually think in Nintendo's case, it's definitely not that Xbox and PlayStation fans aren't fervorous, but the Nintendo, like, core customer seems to go a little further out of their way to track and find this kind of stuff. Maybe that's my experience talking like out of bias, but I don't think so. Because I remember like what happened on the internet when Nintendo posted a picture of Mario looking out from behind a curtain. And I don't think if anybody else posts that same picture, if that picture's out there with Master Chief, I don't think we see the same amount of fervor. It's like there's definitely something, it's probably just nostalgia based, but there's something a little, it's almost Disney-esque. There's just something about it when Nintendo does it. It kind of just reverberates a little bit more than I think. And it's not more, it's just, it's different really, right? Because, you know, Sony shows The Last of Us, like the internet still goes crazy. It's just different. It's different how they do it. I actually think, you know, Nintendo could put up like, I don't know, like an Etsy page with teasers or something, and Nintendo fans would find it and lose their minds. Like, it's just different like that, right? I think they're not, it might even be that they're not exactly like conditioned to expect the same kind of thing. There's almost, they expect it to be different. So they kind of seek it, I think.
Expect it to be unique in a way?
Yeah.
I guess so. I don't know. Like, Nintendo, do what you want to do. As long as you keep bringing in games that I enjoy, I'm fine with that. And I think, you know, from this point, I think Kevin has a really great point. They have not officially announced any games in fall.
Nope.
And still not have. And I'm wondering, you know, we can get into the news like right now about the Direct.
We can.
Yeah.
I actually have some quotes from Kevin that I wanted to read to kind of set up my own case. So I reached out to him. But yeah, as you said, there are Direct rumors in the air. Those pesky Nintendo Direct rumors are back. I caught wind of this yesterday. And I started following some stuff. It seems to come, as far as I can track, from an account called Kalios FR, a webmaster for the French Pokemon site, whom is also credited for tipping the March Direct in a reply to Jeff Grubb, who writes for VentureBeat. Jeff Grubb is also basically like the sayer of all things non-E3 right now.
I feel like that's very recent.
It is, yeah.
He came out of nowhere.
Kind of.
About this E3 summer mess that came this
He decided
year, so.
to calendar and chronicle all of this. He was also early on the Xbox stuff. He predicted that they had a June event. He told everybody that it was delayed. So he has a good track record with all this. They replied to him saying, "Hey, you forgot the Nintendo Direct later this month." That claim was then
and like tongue in cheek though, like
it could have been that
definitely
that claim was backed up by an admin over at Reset Era who's also had some history with being able to leak some things. So people are starting to wonder, is it possible? Now, Jeff Grubb went on the Nate the Hate podcast for an hour to talk Nintendo, which I listened to because I follow Jeff Grubb and I have for quite some time. And I think he's a really funny person, by the way. If you're looking for a video game journalist to follow, he's a really good pick because all of his stuff kind of comes off a little cheeky, and he always tends to make it a little exciting. It's not like as political, right, or derogatory. It's always kind of funny. So I've always enjoyed his kind of style of tweeting out news. And I listened to it, and he doesn't believe that it's happening in July, just for what, he was like, I know they said that. He's like, I don't think it's going to happen. He did go as far as saying, I'm not saying it can't. He just seems to think that it's happening in August. And his reasoning for saying that was he was backing it up with Nintendo's culture, being a Japanese company, how they were away from their offices for a long time. And he said he spoke to some third-party devs on kind of the news that Nintendo shared with him. So Nintendo reached out, I think in May, letting other folks know, like, hey, we're not going to do this in June. So if you want to make your announcements without us, go ahead. So that's how he got the word that the June Direct was off, because other people started confirming to him. So he went to them and asked them, and apparently these directs, at least working with Nintendo, take some time to put together, like some real time. It's not like they don't shoot a couple videos and get an editor and put it together in a week or something like that. He's like, they might work on these things for 3 or 4 months.
Isn't that pretty, isn't that pretty common knowledge? Like, I remember Sakurai saying that it was months. Like, he was talking months in advance for his Smash presentation. I thought all directs were kind of
Was it just the direct, or actually getting ready to have the presentation for like Min or another character ready, like the Smash part of it?
I don't know.
I think
it was the presentation.
Weeks in advance, though.
It doesn't surprise me, but I've actually never thought of how much like legal and agreements might have to be put in place with if you're roping in these indie partners and third-party developers. There's NDAs, like you can't talk about what we're showing, we can't talk about. So he was like, they haven't really been in their offices. They're just getting back. He's like, if they had it ready for July, I would be shocked. I think that's probably safe.
And not just
that sounds about right.
I can't really see something like that happening like a week before Paper Mario comes out and then everyone's talking it. Like, give that the time to shine before we move on to other stuff.
Yeah, no, I would agree. So I still don't think it's happening. Like, that was one of the things I put down is, do we think it's possible? Not really. I'm expecting August. Personally, I'm expecting we'll hear something from them in August. But that doesn't mean I don't expect that we'll have some news from Nintendo. I do think
little trailers, they're
going to make a game announcement by the end of the month, and I'm pretty sure, I think it's going to be Pikmin.
You think it's going to be Pikmin this month?
Yeah, I do. I think it's going to be Pikmin 3 port. And I wouldn't be surprised if that port is coming in August or early September.
September.
It might be a fast turnaround. Because, and I say that again from this podcast, if you go listen to it, one of the things they said was apparently that game was submitted certification in like April. They're like, they have been sitting on Pikmin forever. He's like, I don't know why they haven't announced it. And it wasn't just him. It was multiple people, and they all, like, apparently it's like they all know. They're like,
waiting for a rainy day.
They're like, it's totally happening. Like, Pikmin is totally happening. He's like, I don't know why they haven't released it yet. He's like, I don't know. Maybe they want to give, Paper Mario all this. He's like, or maybe they're just away and they're just not focused on it because they are riding that sweet, sweet Animal Crossing wave.
That's true.
As much as folks like in our Discord and stuff, like, where's Nintendo, right? They really don't need to be anywhere. Like, they're doing just great. Like, they don't have consoles to sell. So
that's true.
Isn't it still breaking records in Japan right now?
Yes. It definitely is. Didn't I hear it's about to
I read something today. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, but like, it broke some milestone.
It's projecting to pass PS4.
I think that was it.
Yeah. No, not consoles sold. Not even close.
No, projecting.
Okay. You mean like on
pace?
Faster.
Gotcha.
But I also read something in the same thing about Animal Crossing breaking some kind of record for Japan. Really? It was something.
New Horizons has forever changed my opinion on Animal Crossing's place in the Nintendo pantheon of games.
Yes.
I mean, I knew a lot of people were going to show up for it because it's been so long. And I still give, the pandemic a lot of credit that people are like out there with games, and it got, a social viral wave. Even if you had told me those factors, I wouldn't have guessed. Like that's how far it's
this
out.
Big.
Yeah, it's exceeding any expectation I could have ever had for it. It's blown up.
It also captured the regular person, the non-video game person, and that's what really.
And that's huge. That is huge.
Yeah.
All of Victoria's friends, like they want to play with her at church. When they get on their web calls, they all talk about it. They want Switches, they can't get them, and it's just for one game. Not any of them say anything about Kart or Breath of the Wild or Clubhouse Games. Nobody gives a crap about Mario. It is just Animal Crossing. It's all they want to do is go to each other's towns and hang out. That's it. That's all they want to do. It's blowing my mind. So, yeah, I expect by the end of the month, we will hear some news. I don't think we're going to go 2 or 3 weeks after Paper Mario without something to lead us on to the next breadcrumb. So I think they will announce it. And I think it will be a port.
Of August.
So, and I'll go out and say it's going to be the Pikmin based off that interview that I listened to. Lowell asks, if we had a Nintendo Direct this month, what would be your dream one more thing announcement? And I wanted to open this up, if you guys will let me, to bring in Kevin here. I really wanted Kevin to be available for tonight's podcast because I think Kevin's concerns that he's brought up are valid, Garrett. You're absolutely right. I absolutely understand it. Right now, we have one first-party title on the docket from Nintendo from here through the rest of the year, and that is Paper Mario. And normally, you would expect more from a publisher. I give them a little bit of a pass, like I give everybody a little bit of a pass for what we're going through right now, but that doesn't mean that they couldn't announce it, right? Like they could announce it and just let you know that something's coming. But I did want to reach out to him because there's a lot of rumors of what we think is going to be announced when this Direct inevitably happens, right? We've said it on this podcast a bunch of times that Mario All-Stars 3D games, whatever, I feel like that's happening. Jeff Grubb talked about it and talked about what you could expect about it on that podcast too, especially with Mario 64. He said it wasn't going to be remade. So if you had any, like, it's going to look like Odyssey, and it's not. He said it is going to be like Turok. It's going to be brighter. They're going to redo the HUD. They're going to redo all the menus. It's going to be HD, but it's going to have the same art style, right? It's not going to.
I like that, actually.
Yeah, that polygonal, it's going to stay the same. And then the other games, right? Sunshine, and it's going to have the HD updates and all that stuff too. He expects them to come in a collection. I feel like we have all the evidence in the world to say that that's happening. And I feel like Rebecca's going to, like, she's cringing.
Is it going to go all at once, though? Like, that collection's like, here you go?
I think that's here's the thing. I think that's their fall game. Like, that's their big game.
List all the games. It's 64, Sunshine, Galaxy is in there, and
Galaxy
3D World?
HD. Nope, 3D World will be separate port.
Okay, so those three. Okay.
So I think that's their big game. And I know that I feel like I don't want to say I feel. I know that there are some nostalgic people that are really excited about this.
Of course.
I know me and Sean Capri are totally excited for that. I'm going to take all the money. I also know that there are other people that are like, really? Ports of these old games, it's all Mario. Like, they want something else. They want something new. And I know Kevin is that person. So I wanted to give him some time to say it. So I asked him. I said, I'm going to say this today. I'm going to set you up like this. You tell me what it is you were hoping to see, what you think, what you want. Here's what he said. It's too early for Zelda, so I say let's bring back Splatoon. Let's get a new entry, throw in a battle royale mode to spice it up.
Cool.
He said, I'm trying to think of a way they could surprise us. Maybe some sort of Mario sport. Golf would be great. Or then let's get weird. Let's throw a Wario game in the mix, WarioWare, or platformer featuring him and Waluigi. I was actually kind of taken back because I expected him to reach higher. I was expecting him to say something like much grander because
but that's reasonable. It
is reasonable.
I disagree with the Splatoon, but I think that's the rest of it's safe.
Those are reasonable. So I want to shape this. I want to take Lowell's question and shape it this way. If for the rest of the year we got Pikmin port, Pikmin 3, a Mario port, Mario 3D World, this Mario All-Stars collection, whatever you think you want to call it, if that's all we get from first-party releases, with the other third-party stuff we know we got, right? We got Apex, we got No More Heroes, Pokemon DLC. Is that enough? Or are you underwhelmed?
I need to see the presentation of it before I give a call, but for now...
Just at face value.
I think a little underwhelmed.
Okay.
I think so. I think, I think Nintendo's been knocking out of the park for the past couple years. I know they need a break this year, but not showing off at least one Nintendo sequel or one Nintendo game that's not a remade HD port or whatever. I don't know. It just seems like it was a little lackluster especially for a holiday season.
What would put it over the top? If you could have one more thing that would make it worth it for you, do you know what it is?
I would like very similar to Fire Emblem, where they did I'm forgetting the second game that they did after Fates. But they did a no, they didn't. No, I'm talking about the 3DS. What is it called? Echoes.
Sorry.
Yes.
You said no, and I was like, I'm sure it's Heroes, and then you said Echoes. I was like, no, it wasn't.
Yeah. Echoes is the one. I would love them to do a reimagination, new art style of a classic Fire Emblem game, and that's me. That's just me because that's my genre. And you know how Donnie, the Mario games are for you. This is my bread and butter.
Sure.
That's what I would love.
Okay.
So.
For me, those would be 3 new Mario games that I have never played before, so I feel like I'm in a different boat than most people. That would be a pretty darn good year for me, because I would get them if they were all packaged together in a $60 bundle. That's a heck of a deal for me. Pokemon Snap is probably going to come out.
I don't think it's this year.
You don't think so?
I don't.
They said coming soon.
I think that means spring. I'm going to slot Pokemon Snap into
honestly,
the Yoshi window.
Right. But I don't know. It's still a possibility.
And the reason I say that really is I don't think they're going to drop Snap over top of the DLC. I very much expect they'll make the DLC a thing and then repackage Shield and Sword and resell it.
Ooh, you do?
Of course.
Like with the DLC? Yeah, I could see that happening. I could. And that be like the Pokemon for the fall. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I think I'm in a different boat than most people. I would be very happy with the 3 Mario in 1 collection. But I think for most people, it would be underwhelming. Like we are due for a new reboot of something like he was talking about. I think it would be really awesome to see a Mario Kart 9 at some point soon. We are way overdue for a new Mario Kart. There's lots of reasons why I don't think that will happen on the Switch, but I would be over the moon for it.
It's good. What if they threw in Metroid Prime?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
I think a lot of people would be happy about that.
Do you? Because I still see it. So here's the ultimate. Here's the point that I'm going to be here anyway. I already told you guys I like ports, so I'm not going to spend so much time going over, my like or dislike for ports. But it's interesting because I feel like folks are like, oh, I don't want any of these ports, but I think they're saying that because it's ports of games they don't want. If it was ports of games that they did want, then all of a sudden I think you turn them over. And I just wanted to make that point because I don't think we're getting, we're not getting Breath of the Wild. We're not getting Metroid Prime 4. Right? We're not getting any of these big new games. I don't think they're there.
There are a lot of people who haven't played any of the Metroid Prime games or maybe only played the first one who might have some interest in Prime 4 but want to play the other ones before it comes out.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's where that hype would be.
I think there's a ton of smoke to believe that port is ready, that they have an HD Prime somewhere. Yeah. I don't know if it's the whole collection or not. I hope it is. But yeah, I think
it better be the trilogy.
Yeah, I think that port is there somewhere for them to use.
Oh, I hope.
But I'm just trying to make that point that if there is no big new game, can anybody be happy? And if this is I also want to kind of frame this way. I've been saying all year, you guys know this, you're my co-host, that I thought that this might be, one of their lesser years as opposed to their peak years. I've been saying that this is a valley. We've had peaks, and this is going to be a valley year that bridges us to the next peak. If their peak year is Animal Crossing, Mario Collection, Pikmin, and Clubhouse games, that's pretty damn good.
That's pretty good.
I feel it's interesting because I keep reading these articles and talking to folks in our Discord and stuff, and they're just like, ugh. And I'm like, I just don't get it. I feel like...
And Xenoblade.
And that's where I feel like, I'm like, am I just being a super homer right now? Is it just me? Because I'm like, that year is better than what Xbox has had this year. It is. And Xbox is my game of the year so far. My game of the year so far is Ori 2. And I would still take Animal Crossing, Clubhouse, Super Mario Collection. You throw Xenoblade, you throw all that together, I'd take that year. That's a great year.
Gears Tactics?
I mean, it's good. Sure.
It's good.
Yeah, but There's also a part of me that wants to sell you guys on. I realize that the Mario games are ports of old games that people have played before. I would love to sell Kevin like face to face on what if they make like a spectacle of it. What if there's like an awesome collector's edition and it looks super cool and it's got like some fancy knickknacks in it? Because I think you can do that, right? 35th anniversary Mario collection. You get these 3 remastered games and this cute little tub and a statue and all that.
It's on a gold card.
I'm going to do all of that. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's like, I don't know. I feel left out a little bit because I'm like, who doesn't love this? Like, I'm all here for it. 10 out of 10, I'm super here for it. But I don't know. I think it's interesting. I did try to think of a game that could fit that window. And the only one that I think is possible, although I admit it's getting real close to call here, Bayonetta.
Yeah.
If they dropped Bayonetta, but if they dropped it on top of everything else that they're doing.
Have we seen any of that game yet?
No.
Nope.
Okay.
0.
That's why I don't think it's it either. That's why I think, I've been saying all year, I think this is a bridge year. It's a down year. And next year we get into Bayonetta and all the other stuff. And it's not necessarily a down year. We still have Apex, and hopefully the Persona Strikers game shows up, and No More Heroes 3. Like
Bravely Default 2.
Gods and Monsters. Like there are some other things here that should get some people in to get you to 2021.
Could there still be something? I know we're not doing Breath of the Wild 2, but could there still be something Zelda related coming this year? Because I do remember some interview where they were committed to bringing a Zelda title to the Switch every year.
They've said that for a few years.
So I'm wondering we just got Link's Awakening last year, but I'm wondering if there could be another remaster, another 2D game, another another Cadence of Hyrule type thing, like
Skyward Sword. I don't think that'll be it. I think they'll make a big event out of that.
It may be a multiplayer Zelda like Triforce Heroes.
Because if they said they're committed to playing to bringing something Zelda every year, we haven't seen that yet. So there's a Zelda question mark title that could still be coming.
I'd be absolutely down for like a 4 Swords Triforce Heroes Switch game. Yeah, because me and the kids played it together with the 3DS, but we didn't ever play the 3DS multiplayer, but we play the Switch multiplayer all the time. A multiplayer Zelda title would get it. Like I'd be very excited for that.
Yeah.
But a Hyrule, I was gonna say a Twilight Princess or a Wind Waker or a collection or anything like that.
More remakes and ports, but
it is.
But again, like if there's got to be something if what they said was true.
Yep. And I think we're setting up for a really great 2021. And I feel like I'm regurgitating old points at this point, but I feel like we're getting into like they're clearing the pipes, letting other projects get the time, and they're ready. They're about to recycle and they're about to come back. We're going to Breath of the Wild 2. We're about to get Mario Golf, Metroid Prime, Bayonetta.
Mario Golf. You're holding on to that.
I'm not holding on to it. They're absolutely going to make Mario Golf.
Are you sure?
Yes. Have you looked at go to Wikipedia, type Camelot Games. Here's what you'll see when you do that, Garrett. You'll see Mario Tennis, Mario Golf, Mario Tennis, Mario Golf, Mario Tennis, Mario Golf, Mario Tennis, Mario Golf. For like the last 12 years. They're totally making Mario Golf. That's happening. 100%.
Right. Sounds good.
It's going to be amazing.
I'll believe it.
You're going to love it
when I see it.
You're going to love it. We're going to play golf all the time.
Sounds good.
I'm really excited, guys. I think next year could be great. And I think that's what they need it to be, too. And we get a question about that here in a few minutes. But I think it's important. Honestly, I think it might even, I could even make the case it might be strategic to wait and release some ports right now and just hold it back a bit.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get into some Shaq questions. Rebecca.
Am I starting from what we have right here?
Yeah.
Okay. Hawk wants to know. Oh, from this one?
Just start at the top.
Okay. Oh, sorry. I saw you highlighted. Hawk wants to know, do you think that Nintendo's back half of the year will be lackluster thanks to Corona delays?
I think that's kind of what we're seeing. I don't necessarily think it's delayed. I think the lack of news in the space is kind of delayed.
Yeah, we kind of just talked about that.
Yep.
Basically.
Ryan wants to know, let's face it, backlogs are a nagging plague for a lot of gamers. If you went to kick games off of your backlog to the curb, which one would go first? I like this question.
I don't know if I have anything on my Switch that I'm considering in backlog. Xenoblade, but I'm not really... I knew it when I bought it. I wasn't probably going to finish it. So
yeah. The organization of my backlog is a scary one. There's a lot of games that are in there that I know is like, yeah, I want to go back to that. But I don't know. I don't know if there's games I would just kick off to the curb. I do have games that I do kick off to the curb though. I feel like if I wanted to, I will. Like it's not a matter of like if I really wanted to, but I can't.
Like, which one are you not coming back to at this point?
Well, I recently, actually Assassin's Creed Freedom Cry. That's definitely not a Switch game, but that was rough on my PC and it just crashed. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna abandon this one. I'm gonna go to my GG app and I'll let you know.
Well, that's actually where I went as well, Garrett. I went to my DG app site and I looked at my shelved tab for my backlog games. Mm-hmm. And I looked at which ones am I probably like realistically not coming back to ever. I think probably at this point Skyrim. Every time I pick it up, it's been a long time since I picked it up, but like I'm probably never going to finish that game. Like that would probably be the one where I can safely say I'm probably not going to beat this game.
I put something in the backlog that I would just always go back to is Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist. That's a really good Yu-Gi-Oh! Game, by the way. Octopath Traveler. That's the one game I'm probably not going to go back to. Okay. That's a heavy game, and it bored me to tears.
Oh,
literally.
I love the art music in that game.
I love the art. I do. It's the writing that puts me to sleep. Like I can't put it any other way. Give me a JRPG that has a good story. This one, it's the most bland story I've ever seen. One of the, I don't know how else to put it. Costume Quest 2. I don't know why I have this in my backlog. You know what? I'm gonna
what?
So cute. That is such a cute game.
Oh, I don't know if I'll go back to it though.
I don't think it's that long.
I probably have like 5 or 6 that I've already kicked off. And I'm just completely... I don't have my Switch in front of me, so I can't look them up. Like, I was going to say Mystery Dungeon. That's what I got for Father's Day, but I'm totally going to play Mystery Dungeon. I'm definitely going to play it. I'm probably going to finish it. Yeah, but...
Anything else?
Am I going to really go back to Assassin's Creed 2D side-scroller games? Am I really going to do that?
I am.
See, if you... Okay.
I was thinking about playing those earlier today.
Okay. Tell me when you start playing them. I'll start playing them too.
Okay. I wish they'd bring those to Switch. I've been saying it for a while. I don't know why they haven't. It doesn't make any sense to me. It'd be a cheap game. Style. They have a collection. They've already released the collection. It's already been rated. It's on PS4 and Xbox. It was like $30.
Yeah.
Put it on Switch. Why?
I don't know. They put Assassin's Creed games, but not these.
I was going to say, of all the Assassin's Creed games to not put on Switch, it makes no damn sense.
Yeah, that's true.
Next question.
Ryan also wants to know, assuming the Mario remasters are true, what one or two games are your most look forward to games of 2020?
Ooh. Sports Story, No More Heroes 3, Mario Collection.
That was 3. He said 1 to 2.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm just kidding.
Technically it was 5. It's 5. You know how excited I am for like those 3 games? You give me Sports Story, No More Heroes 3, and a Mario Collection, I'm good. It's a great year. What a fantastic year.
If the Mario Collection is true, I would look
it's true.
forward to that.
It's totally happening. Yeah. I hope they market it Mario All-Stars too.
If Snap is this year, that's my number 1.
Okay.
Cool. Cyberpunk, that's definitely my number 1. And going anywhere. And Bravely Default 2. So 2 100 to 200 hour games that I'll spend the rest of my life with. So
what are we worried about calendars and releases for? You've got 2 games to take up the rest of your year. Like, you're good, man. You're booked.
Basically.
I'm also super eager for Cyberpunk. Absolutely. Game's gonna be dope.
I think this next one is meant for Donnie. We said we were saving it for him. Was this the one? Christopher wants to know, if you had a choice, what types of stages and enemies or items would you save for Super Mario Maker 3?
Super Mario Maker 3. Okay. Do you guys want to say anything?
No.
We've tried.
We've saved this for you. This was a question. I think it was originally submitted back when it was just me and Garrett, and we're like, nope, we're going to wait for Donnie, and we're just getting it right
Gotcha. Kyle might be a better person, so in the chat, Kyle, if you've got some things you want to throw in here, let me know. First and foremost, this should come at no surprise. I want Amiibo to return to Mario Maker. This doesn't make no damn sense. That's why the Switch has Amiibo. Amiibo was one of the greatest things about Mario Maker 1, and I don't understand why they held it back, but here's what I would say. If you want to make it even better, though, right? Super Mario Maker 3, because here's the point. I don't know how many more Mario Makers you can make, because Super Mario Maker 2 pretty freaking amazing. Like it's really pretty epic. But if you bring back Amiibo, maybe throw in some styles of backgrounds and themes that match the other games.
Ooh.
Like a Metroid Prime or a Zelda. And you could have like little dungeons and things like that. That, you don't have to do it for everybody, right? But just one or two, that would be epic. That would be truly epic. That would be an amazing idea for Super Mario Maker. I did write down, so honestly, I think Super Mario Maker 2 has way too many enemies and blocks and slopes and pipes and everything. Like it's got all the things you would want to make a good 2D Mario game. So a lot of my stuff is going to be focused a lot on like the design and the style, because that's typically what I really care about more. I'm not a creator, I'm a player, so I care more about that. The double cherry from Mario 3D World, one of the coolest power-ups that we've had. I think it would be really cool to see that in a 2D space. That would be really cool. Do you guys know what the double cherry is?
I have no idea.
It duplicates the player. So you hit the double cherry and there's two Marios. And you control two Marios at one time. And you jump at the same time. And each one is mapped to one stick. So you could do like each one on a Joy-Con. It's kind of cool. Yeah.
There we go.
Charge and Chuck, which, Kyle, if you're in the chat, fact check me. I'm not even sure if it's not. It might be in Mario Maker 2. I'm not sure. Again, I'm not a creator. But I was trying to think about this when I read the question earlier. I haven't seen it. Charge and Chuck's a football player. He's got football, so like Super Mario World. He was like in the 3D world.
He's not in Mario Maker 2?
I'm not sure. I don't recall playing in him a bunch. That's why I wasn't sure. I didn't look it up, but I'm not sure. But if he's not, he definitely needs to be. That's like the enemy that kind of came to mind when I was thinking about it. And then when you talk about styles, if they made a 2D Sunshine style, that would be awesome. Also, if they made a Super Mario Bros. 2 style and brought in those mechanics, that would be equally awesome. I would love to play Super Mario 2 styled levels with those mechanics. I would love to bring those mechanics to different styles, and vice versa. I would love to play that style in different mechanics. Because you know what I'm talking about, like Super Mario 2, where you could be Peach, Toad, Luigi, and like everybody could jump differently and all that. Yeah, absolutely. And then the other one that I was to put down is absolutely a playable roster. If you could choose, like, and then that goes with the Amiibo part of it, right? But if you could play as different characters and maybe set it up to play as different characters, and then Yoshi's Island. If you could throw in a Yoshi's Island style and let you build and stuff like that. That
would get me into Mario Maker so much if they added Yoshi's Island.
It's amazing because of how dense the game is now, and I definitely say it's dense. It's got menus upon menus upon menus, and you can combine things like the possibilities already seem endless. And then you think about it and you're like, there's still so much they could do. Like they could still go so far. And I would love to make it like Nintendo Maker. I think that would be the ultimate
what
thing.
Mario is.
Yeah. Like if you could add in styles that were inspired by other games, a Donkey Kong inspired style that you could then make 2D platformer Mario levels on top of, that'd be amazing. I would play the mess out of something like that'd be awesome. And a large part of that was what made the Amiibo in the first game so cool, is we had people used Mario assets to make, you know, themes that match the other characters. What if they actually brought themes from the other characters instead? Because that was actually another part of the Amiibo thing that I brought up with Mario Maker 2 is the Amiibo in Mario Maker, you could only play 8-bit NES style. You couldn't play Super NES. I would love to see them bring other models. I would like to be able to play Link 8-bit, 16-bit, you have pink hair, and I would love to actually have like a little Smash type character 3D model of it.
Zelda Maker.
There was a part of me that wanted to answer just Zelda Maker. Just because I was thinking, like, why did they take Amiibo out? Maybe they took it out to make like a Zelda Maker and a Metroid Maker. Like maybe there could be a bunch of different types of
Donkey Kong Country Maker. Let's go.
There could be. There could be. So I hope that answers your question.
Are we ready for the next question?
Sure.
Yep.
I don't know who asked this one. There's not a name next to it. With Xbox or PlayStation ready to launch, do you see Nintendo cutting the price of the Switch this year?
No, only because they're selling out, but it wouldn't be a bad idea. So I will hedge my bet and say bundles, baby. Black Friday bundles. Here is the Mario Kart Switch bundle. Here is the Smash Brothers Ultimate Switch bundle. Hell, throw ARMS and 1-2 Switch and Shovel Knight and throw like here's your launch edition Switch bundle. Like let's get crazy with it. Let's start throwing some games together. I still think it's too early to do a Breath of the Wild bundle, but if they're looking to release Breath of the Wild 2 next year, maybe it's not. Breath of the Wild bundle. Here's your Switch Lite plus Breath of the Wild 2. Or Breath of the Wild. Like, they could do that too.
Yeah, I don't see a price cut, but I think bundles. That's a good guess.
Also, just reminded me, I should have wrote this down when I was thinking about my hype for this Mario All-Stars 2 thing. Mm-hmm. What if they come out with a system? And it's freaking awesome.
A Nintendo Switch, a Mario Switch.
Yeah.
No, that would
Right?
give me a question block or something as
Here's
a dock.
the 35th Mario edition of the Lite. Here's the 35th edition of the Switch. Here's the dock.
Yeah.
You see where I'm going? Like, you can spin this and make
Pro
it
controller?
a thing.
Joy-Cons, like everything. No.
Yep. I'm gonna
I
laugh.
think it'll get
I'm
some
gonna
people.
laugh so much 5 months from now. We all have Mario stuff. I'm gonna just laugh
You're gonna just be enjoying that collection.
almost as much as I enjoyed taking my victory lap in the last Splatfest, which I never got a chance to rightfully scorn you guys over.
You're right.
Go Team Catch Up. By the way,
We're
I'm
here.
so happy that I got
Play,
reminded.
Donnie? No,
I did
don't
play.
know. Oh, you did? Oh, okay. I think the only way that Nintendo would slash the console is a next iteration. Once they get that moved out, yeah, I think they would cut the price. But other than that, I don't know. I never see them cutting the price.
There's no need to cut the price at the launch of a new console. Because that's early adopters. They're getting in. They're not going to start selling out gangbusters. I don't think... I mean, there might be some for sure. And definitely there's always one, right? So there's always an exception to the rule. I don't think that the PS5 is taking away a potential Switch owner.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't think there's somebody right now it's like,
Right.
should I get a Switch or... I'll just wait till the PS5. Like, that's a weird space to be in. Like,
That's a very weird... You get both, bud. Like,
yeah,
I
right.
don't know.
Right. So, yeah, I don't think that's necessary. And I think you just add some added value with some pack-ins for now. Next year? Probably. Yeah, next year might be
I'm
the
thinking
time.
a new Switch iteration is quite possible.
That'd be good too. You could replace the model. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's possible.
And Steven wants to know if you could replay any game that you have only played once before, what would it be?
What would yours be? So are we like replaying it for the first time? Or
No, I clarified that with him. You are not erasing your memory. You have all the knowledge of the game, but you
Ooh.
think about a game that you've only played one time. Because I feel like, and this is a clever question, because we go back to games, I think, several times that we really love.
Yep.
But can you think of a game that you only played once?
Yes, I've got one.
What is it?
Astral Chain.
Ooh.
Okay.
I definitely want to go back and replay it because I really enjoyed it. I just haven't found like the right window to jump back in quite yet.
For me, it's Breath of the Wild. I played that once. I want to go back and try it again. I have the hard book cover guide now.
Yeah.
It's freaking heavy, man.
Dude, we're going to do it.
Yeah.
We're gonna do
Okay.
it. We're gonna do it before the launch of the second one. We just did it last year. We had to return to Hyrule. I'm gonna play it again before the second one comes out again.
Sounds
for
good.
sure.
I'll be on that journey then.
Oh, it's gonna be so much fun.
I should have thought of an answer to this one because I'm having trouble remembering what games I've only played once. So I'll pick a recent one just because there's reason to replay it. Is Chrono Trigger. I played earlier this year. I know I want to replay it at some point to get a different ending.
Cool. Yeah.
Cool. Very good. Is that it for this week?
I think so.
Great. Fun show, guys. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
You guys have anything else you want to say?
No, I think I'm good.
Be safe this weekend with the 4th of July, everybody.
Fireworks. You guys don't realize I work with EMS.
Always an accident.
It's a
that-
huge issue. Be
Yeah.
careful with the fireworks, okay? Don't drink while you're grilling and then go light fireworks, okay? Don't drink while you're lighting fireworks.
just don't do that, man. Deadly combination.
You can drink, but you can't light the fireworks if you're drinking. You gotta have responsibly. Yeah, you gotta have.
I'm already hearing them. I don't know if you guys were hearing there are fireworks going off already.
Yeah,
so I guess
Oh, every
Going
day.
too. Yeah. Well, I'm not even sure if the fireworks are just guns. The rednecks around here just the line.
Oh no.
They just start shooting guns instead.
Oh my goodness.
I'll give you some fireworks. All right, that's going to do it for this week here in the Nintendo Shack. We look forward to next week when my other co-hosts tell you how excited they are for Mario All-Stars 2 and the inevitable collection and systems that it will come with. We'll catch you next week, Kooplings. Good night.
Bye-bye.